did that. I did that for 20 years, and it turned into becoming 8,000 clairvoyant readings. And there it turned out that it seems that we all have an important calling. So I was thinking, also having studied nature and trees and talked to flowers, that of course they must have a calling themselves. Apples, pears, trees, cherries. So one morning, I took an orange and I put it onto a table in my living room. And then I tuned into this orange as I would tune into a human being. And I asked this orange, tuned into all its structures, and also, if you will, like what is an orange also, in the collective field. And what happened was mind-blowing. Because, if we would ask a human being, what is your calling? They might have exercised, say some very sharp, intelligent things. And this was then an orange. And then what the orange said, that was so clear. I've never in my life heard a human being being able to express itself that clearly. It was like, my calling is tap, tap, tap. The consciousness I transfer to a human being is about courage to revolutionary thinking, innovative thinking, and really to sustain this courage. And my pen just went da 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 da, and then it was finished. It was like, and I thought, whew, that was just the orange. What about an apple? What about the cherry? What about lentils? What about brown rice? What about? And then my journey started. And then, whenever I could find time, I would do this. And now I've covered over many, many years. Of course, not all that grows on earth, because then I wouldn't finish till I go somewhere else. But I've taken what is, and really tuned into what I found essential for human beings on this planet. And now that book is finished. And it's also so that actually in the back of that book, one can, for example, which I find very important being a psychologist, for example, if one day I really feel I lack freedom completely, I feel stuck, then I can look up in the index and read freedom. What could I eat for that food to transfer consciousness, so that actually I'll be supported by it, I'll be healed, I'll be nourished, I'll be able to, supported by that, feel my call again. Yeah. I think we're so closely connected to nature that all along nature has been us, and we are nature. So what we need to tune into again and become sensitive to, reduce noise in ourselves, to be able to actually grasp again, is this, that when we, there's such a thing called health design, where when you sit under a tree, you, according to really hardcore science, you'll be healed. Your amygdala will be reduced. That's where our fight and flight system is activated from. So when we are in nature, we are being held, we are being supported, and our systems react to it. It's just not something fluffy or hippie kind of thing. It's really hardcore science telling us that health design, when people are stressed, when they have had a burnout, let them go into what the Japanese called forest bathing. In Japan, it's kind of not a regulation from the government, but the government really encourages Japanese people to go in nature and be among trees. So that's one thing we can do it, but we can also do what we can to actually ask our bodies, what do you need, dear body? Those are so many intelligent cells, and they They just want to communicate all the time. That's why they give us symptoms. I mean, I've studied that also for 30 years, working also as a body therapist. So our bodies, they just actually want to communicate. Hey, I need lentils now because I need to be supported consciousness-wise by lentils, by apples. And intuitively start when we go into a supermarket. It doesn't have to be rocket science. What am I attracted to? Ask your body before you go into the supermarket. What would you like to be nourished by? What do you need to be nourished by?